When it comes to doing a gun buyback, the very first thing you want to ask is, why are we doing this? And there are a number of good reasons to do gun buybacks. The first three have to do with public health reasons. Now, statistically, it's been proven time and time again that a gun buyback is not going to deter homicides, violent crime, this kind of thing. Because you're going to take away at most a couple hundred guns, and there are millions and millions of guns in this country. There are 16 to 20 million guns put into circulation each year, meaning that people who want guns have guns. People who kind of want guns have guns, and people who don't want guns have guns, which is why when you do a gun buyback, you get lines and lines of cars, because we do not have a robust gun disposal mechanism in our society. That's a huge deal, and that's really at the heart of gun buybacks. Why should churches, community groups be doing this? If we had that mechanism in place, we wouldn't be. As we talk about reasons to do a gun buyback, know that you're going to get some pushback from people saying, well, statistically, there have been studies, it doesn't cut down on homicide, doesn't cut down on gang violence, this kind of thing. And the jury's still out really on if it does touch what I think are three important public health issues, which the first of which is kids. Gun violence is the number one cause of death for children now. It used to be accidents. Now it's guns. Why is that? Well, there are a lot of guns out there. Secondly, of course, is mental illness and the drive for suicide. Right now in the U.S., suicide is one of the top 15 causes of death, and ready access to firearms makes it even more deadly. A Stanford University study was done not too long ago that showed that if you are a male gun owner, your chances of self-harm with that gun, suicide with that gun, are 8 times higher. If you're a female, it's 37 times higher. So removing a gun, taking it out of circulation for kids, for those undergoing mental illness distress, and third, because the majority of gun crimes are committed with stolen weapons. So when we remove those guns from circulation, there are kids who can't find them, those who are going through mental health problems can't find them, and of course they can't be stolen by criminals. Now, again, there's no huge firm data showing that gun buybacks are going to stop those, but it does kind of make sense. But those aren't the only reasons we do gun buybacks. Another big reason is community service. When you open your church or whatever community group is going to do this to a gun buyback, and you see those hundreds of people in line, they are so thankful to be giving you a weapon and saying, I did not want this in my attic. I've got grandkids. I did not want this in my house because my wife now has dementia. There is this palatable sense of relief and peace. In terms of scripture and churches that do this, Jesus is the Prince of Peace, and to be able to bring that peace into people's homes is a big deal. And you wonder what it's like in your community to reduce the level of anxiety by taking guns from people who don't want them anymore off their hands. Related to community service is this idea that when you do a gun buyback, you bring together a lot of different parties who are already rowing in the right direction. You're going to bring together police. You're going to bring together your church members. You're going to bring together folks who are involved in gun safety initiatives in the community. You're going to bring together politicians. You're going to bring together local, city, county, maybe even state representatives to come together who've never met each other. And you're going to be able to form relationships that haven't been formed before. And another reason to do a gun buyback is that you're keeping gun safety in the headlines. You're keeping it at the forefront of your community's radar. Why is this important? Because we want action done on this issue. We need to show that it's something that's important to us. Had we not been active in doing gun buybacks at our church, would we have gotten on the radar of the New York Times, who put the story on the cover of a paper? And this played an important role in moving our state from a state that takes 11,000 guns every year and recycles them to a state that takes 11,000 guns a year and destroys them. So keeping the issue in front of the public, because you're going to attract press when you start taking guns in, you're going to attract people who aren't happy with what you're doing. Media coverage frequently follows conflict because you're going to have people of differing opinions coming to your buyback. So be clear on why you want to do a buyback. It's going to be really helpful when it comes to fundraising, when it comes to getting volunteers. And when you're firm on why you want to do it, you're going to find it's much easier to have a successful buyback.